Oh great, another ugly apartment. Welcome back to Love It or List It. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ashley for those of you who have not met me yet, and welcome back to another episode of Love It or List It, this series where I renovate the apartments in San Myshuno with the City Living Expansion Pack. So today we are going to be renovating 17 Culpepper House, and this one is also in the Spice Market, and it's in the same apartment complex as the renovation we did last episode. So if you haven't seen that one, don't forget to go check that one out. This one is a 1-bedroom and 1-bathroom apartment, and the weekly rent is 400 simoleons, so it's a very, very affordable apartment. However, the apartment, as you guys will see in a couple seconds when we do the tour, doesn't come with a lot of furniture. So given that, we're going to be giving ourselves a budget of 12,000 simoleons to completely furnish and fix this place up. So let's get into the tour to see what we have to work with here. Okay, so firstly when we walk in, we see the kitchen right away. Ew. I don't know what it is with EA apartments and putting the kitchen right at the entrance when you first walk in. I mean, like, you usually have to kind of enter an apartment a little bit more before you see the kitchen. So we're definitely gonna have to change the location of the kitchen. But those countertops and cabinets are actually really nice. Those are like the expensive ones. So I think we can definitely keep those and maybe paint them either black or white to make it a little bit more modern. Things like the stove and the sink are totally fine, so we're going to try and reuse those if we can. I want to make this into a more modern apartment, so I think those kitchen chairs and table have to go. Secondly, this apartment is so dark, as per usual. All EA apartments are always so dark, so we're going to have to put in some nicer lights to brighten the place up a bit, and of course, rip out the ugly flooring and put nice hardwood everywhere instead. Now onto the sad, sad living room. As you can see, there really isn't very much furniture that comes with this place, so I think we're definitely going to have to get rid of that couch and kind of just replace everything. Maybe we will keep the TV and the TV stand, though, if we don't have enough money in our budget to replace it. That kind of table-y buffet thing against the wall there is actually really nice, so I think we can try and keep that and incorporate that into the new apartment. The bathroom is totally fine. I don't really want to spend too much money on the bathroom, maybe just change the flooring and the walls. Now onto this bedroom, again, kind of a sad bedroom, doesn't really come with much furniture, so we'll probably have to replace that bed and maybe keep the end tables, and maybe that dresser we can keep as well. So overall, this apartment does have a lot of potential, but it doesn't really come with a lot of furniture, which is why we're giving ourselves a little bit of a bigger budget to furnish the place up a bit. So any furniture that we don't use, we can just sell to add to our budget. So let's get started, you guys. Alright guys, so this renovation is a little bit more challenging in the sense that I don't have a lot of furniture to work with. So in my last renovation, the apartment came with a lot of nice furniture already that I could kind of repurpose, but this apartment doesn't really come with a lot of stuff to work with, so therefore I have to kind of furnish it up myself. So this one is more focused around kind of transforming the apartment from kind of dark, boring to kind of updated and modern. So I was really kind of going for maybe a bachelor pad vibe, or maybe like a young teen or young adult who is just moving out for the first time, and this is his or her first apartment. But you will see, though, that I am still able to keep a handful of the existing furniture, like the countertops and kind of the bathroom appliances and some of the tables and stuff like that. So we still did get to repurpose a lot, but just in general, this apartment really didn't come with a lot. But you guys, don't forget to comment down below whether you would love or list this apartment. Do you think that I used the budget well enough that you would want to keep it? Or would you guys just keep the 12,000 simoleons and add it to your budget to go buy a new place? Let me know what you think down below. Also, if this is your first time to the channel, I usually do Sims 4 base game builds on Monday using only the base game because I think that you can really make amazing houses with just the base game, but this series is focused around city living. So the packs I use in these renovations are only base game plus the city living expansion pack. So if you only have those 2 packs, you're totally cool to download these houses and use them to its fullest. Anyways, you guys, let's get on to the renovation. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you enjoy it. So the first thing that I wanted to kind of clarify, as it might be a little bit confusing in this episode and also in my last episode that I did, is when I actually start the renovation speed build portion of the video, the balance of funds in the bottom left corner isn't actually the amount that I said I would start with. So in this video, I said that my budget was $12,000, But in the beginning of these speed builds, I only start with 8,000 simoleons, and I actually add 4,000 simoleons later in the video. And the reason why I do that is so for me, when I'm building on a budget, that way I can kind of budget my budget in a sense, so I don't run out of money too quickly. But I realized looking back on it as a viewer, it's a little bit confusing to not start with the amount that I said I would start with, because you can't really keep track as the video is going on, and the money's depleting and I keep adding money, and it might be a little bit confusing. So from now on, I'm going to start with the amount of money that I said that I was going to start with, instead of starting with a lesser amount and then adding it later. So sorry if that confused you, but I will do it better from now on. Okay, so on to the build. So this one, I definitely wanted to go for a very kind of modern and bachelor pad style of a vibe. And this time I actually helped myself out a bit by choosing the flooring and the wall color or the wallpaper ahead of time. So if you watched my last renovation, I talked about how sometimes I will furnish an entire place and then try and choose the flooring and the wall colors afterwards. And walls and floors can completely change the vibe of a room or a space, so it's almost best to choose that beforehand to kind of set the tone of the room and then furnish accordingly. So this time I had a vision that I really wanted to have these kind of black wood flooring with this kind of beige, or I don't know, is that beige colored wall. So I kind of based all the furniture off of that, kept all of the colors very kind of black and white, and I added slight pops of color with the bar stools there. So that was kind of the only pop of color really that I added, and I think that gives it a really kind of modern vibe to use this kind of color scheme. So here you can see that I'm just adding a little coat closet by the entranceway here. It's not a functional closet, it's just decorative, but with base game and city living, you don't get that wardrobe furniture piece that's actually where you can actually interact with it. So I still think that this adds to the vibe really nicely and is still a nice touch by the entranceway. So as you can see, I was able to repurpose the countertops, and I went with the black and white countertops. I think those are so nice. And for the cabinets, I actually didn't use the same ones, and I instead went for these more basic ones. And I think that mixing and matching cabinets in The Sims when you're building is something that's a really great idea. You don't always have to have the matching cabinets to the countertops. I think a lot of people oftentimes just grab the exact same matching cabinets, but I think you can really get a lot of different looks if you mix and match them. So that's what I did here. Also, please ignore the large zebra print rug I put into the bedroom. Honestly, I don't even know why I did that. You know, sometimes when you're building, you just put things down and then you know it looks bad, but you just leave it there anyways and you decide to change it later. Well, you know, sometimes you forget that you're recording and that people are going to see that and just cringe. So don't worry, I'm cringing too at that zebra rug that is filling the entire room pretty much. I change it. I 100% change it. It takes me a little bit to change it, but I do get to it and I do change it. And yeah, I'm cringing just as much as you are. But I hate that because, you know, when you're building, you're kind of in your own world and you don't think about that kind of stuff. But then when you watch it back on film, you realize that your viewers have to look at that the entire time. So you can see here that I finally got rid of it. So we're all good, guys. We're all good. So while I changed the location of the bedroom in this renovation, I kind of kept it a similar shape actually to what it used to be. And I think because of that, I was a little bit influenced by the old layout of the bedroom, in which they had the bed in a similar spot to where I have the bed now, which is up against that back wall there. So the room is kind of long and skinny. And I realized afterwards when I was doing the screenshots that the feng shui or the vibe of the room or the orientation was all wrong. I didn't really like it. I actually changed the positioning of the bed to be up against the long wall. So you'll see in the screenshots at the end, I think it just looks a lot better. It just makes more sense when you walk into the room. The room just looks like a normal shape instead of it being a really long and skinny room. So look out for that at the end. So this renovation actually was a lot different than my last renovation because in the last episode, the apartment came with a lot of furniture that we had to repurpose. So a lot of the episode was based around me changing the colors of the existing furniture to try and incorporate it into the new apartment. And then that, and it was a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom apartment, and I turned it into a 2-bedroom and 2-bathroom apartment. So I changed a lot about the apartment. But for this one, I didn't change the stats of the apartment. It's still a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom apartment, and it didn't come with a lot of furniture. So most of our budget went into kind of getting all brand new furniture and completely redecorating. So it was more of a redecorating episode versus a kind of repurposing episode like the last one was. So I think that's what I like about this series. Every apartment will be different because every time we'll have a different budget and we'll always have different furniture to work with. So we'll be able to add bedrooms, add bathrooms, or take away bedrooms or take away bathrooms, and really be creative in that way. So I hope you guys are looking forward to future episodes. And if you have a apartment complex that you want me to tackle next, don't forget to leave it in the comment section down below, and I will be sure to renovate those apartments. And you could even go as far as telling me exactly how many bedrooms and bathrooms you want and what my budget should be. So I think that would be really fun. Well, that concludes our renovation of 17 Culpepper House today. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked what you saw today, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and leave a comment down below if you would love or list this apartment. And if this is our first time meeting, don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you want to be friends or if you want to see more weekly Love It or List It apartment renovation videos. I upload these videos once per week at the same time every week, so I will see you guys all next week. Bye, everyone!